The Leggett podcast is sponsored by Montrex. Montrex is a cutting-edge sportswear brand empowering athletes across the world, built to enhance performance and give you confidence to go the extra mile. They've got some of the most incredible products at montrex.com. There is a link below this video. Click the link and at checkout, enter the code LEGGIT for 15% off your order. That's LEGIT, all one word. Everything from jackets, cargo pants, gym tops, t-shirts, running jackets, running pants. Everything is on their website, and they sponsor some of the most incredible athletes. Everything from UFC fighter Leon Edwards and a good friend of the podcast, boxer Jazza Dickens. So click the link below, use the code LEGGIT at checkout for 15% off your order. Right, Leggett Podcast with myself, Tom Wixon.
It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neal.
Once again, massive thanks to Montrex. If you would like to purchase any Montrex, you get 15% off if you type in Leggett. Once again, keep those numbers up. It makes us look good. Everyone's supporting it, which is great to see. Liverpool-based company. Whilst Tom spills beer everywhere.
Decent start.
So yeah, massive thanks again to Montrex. Much appreciated. Tom, where are these cameras on?
Just all three of us.
Just on Tom.
Are they, which?
No, all three, yeah.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, literally all three, yeah.
Sorry.
So we've got two different angles, you see, so.
Going up in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, big thanks Montrex. So this episode is just it's just the boys, and we're just going to find out a little bit about each other. Now we're just going to let it roll, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh God.
You said let it roll. We've been like planning an episode for like an hour.
Just thinking, what the hell do we talk about?
Well, I think again, I'm sure we go off on some tangents on Instagram. Is that a word, stranding?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Tangents, I think you're looking for. Oh, what are these?
Oh God.
Suds lager. You're doing a good job.
So, someone says a couple of topics was music, grief, regrets, favourite film, best football game, pick a five-a-side team, scariest experience. So, I think just along those lines, it'd be good to maybe get to know us maybe on a deeper level, especially you, Jordan, as you're the newest member of the pod.
Last one in, first one out.
on that one, just thinking of different things. You know what film I watched a couple of nights ago? Heat. You look like, oh my God.
I haven't seen it, no.
No, I haven't.
Heat.
Now it's bad start to the pod this. Are you messing?
No, never seen it.
Robert De Niro, Al Pacino.
No.
Probably one of the great.
I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
Is it like 3.5 hours?
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours, I think.
Anything over 2 hours or like 2 and a bit, I'm out.
It's got one of the best like bank robbery scenes in ever. Like the shootout was unbelievable.
Do you know what? What was that film that they released on Netflix? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
seen
Brad Pitt.
That wasn't that like 4 hours long?
The Irishman was like 4, wasn't it?
Sorry, no, sorry, it was The Irishman. That was 4 hours. Wasn't
I love the cast, but you're just not having 4 hours of my time.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy as much. It was good, but it wasn't as much. It wasn't enjoyable as I thought it would be. I think because at the time.
See, I'm gonna load the tongue with like favourite films. Oh man, like Step Brothers.
It's a good film. Step Brothers is brilliant.
Yeah, I love Step Brothers.
Do you know the problem?
I think that's on that. You know, if you start dating someone, used to have been bloody high school sweetheart, used to, but for me, like dating over the years, you know, knowing my humour, that's a big thing. That, you know, do you like Step Brothers? I hate all that shit. I'm like,
Stop, please.
Red flags coming up.
Do you know if I see it it's always on telly at like 10:30 at night. So like I'll be scrolling like, you know, when you're just looking for something, you're like just like avoiding going to bed. I never see it, I'm done. But then I've just got to sit and watch it.
Oh, what's it? I like 40-Year-Old Virgin is like similar on sort of like another classic. Bridesmaids is a good film. That fat girl, she plays a cracking role.
That's fat as that, Tom. You're not allowed to say that in this day and age.
2021.
Yeah.
Big
what's her name?
I don't know, she's
Renee's, isn't it?
Yeah, she's Australian, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's married.
Rebel Wilson, her name is.
That's it, yeah.
She's married to that actor, you know.
Is she?
In real life, yeah.
I like Superbad as well.
I love
Superbad. What a film.
Boss, Superbad. Sorry, just on Bridesmaids, you know what scene I loved most where they're having breakfast and they're talking about giving blowjobs. And they're like, when it's just in your face and you're like... It made me think, like, what a view a woman's got. You're like,
oh yeah,
what a great scene.
White Chicks is good.
Yeah. So yeah.
All before the time. Superbad as well.
Superbad was brilliant.
That was the film that literally Superbad what's that guy's name? He obviously played in with DiCaprio in
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
That literally like caught Jonah Hill. Ever since Superbad, Jonah Hill just went fucking skyrocketing.
I think is like demeanor's just brilliant. Even in like The Wolf of Wall Street when he's going, he's talking about he fucks his cousin and he's just like so like nonchalant, just like like she's super hot and like if anyone's gonna fuck her, I'm gonna fuck her.
What's that movie he's in? Is it War? Have you seen that War Dogs?
Mate, what a film that is.
That's a good film, yeah.
But the problem with Superbad and Step Brothers, not like I'm 29 now, just turned. My brother's like 26, 27. When we get together, we don't see each other enough. Like we have family stuff, we just recite like Step Brothers and Superbad. There's probably people around the table, just like, who the fuck are these?
So much room for activities.
Who invited these two?
Another one, my favourite, I know we're just off on films here, Blow.
Yeah.
What a film that is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck me, mate, you're shit.
Sheltered me. I just watch comedy.
Yeah, same, but Blow is a great one.
I mean, I always mention Layer Cake. Layer Cake for me is probably up there in one of my top 5 films.
How fit is Sienna Miller in that scene?
I don't mind a few dark films. I watched what's that one the other night? American Sniper.
Yeah.
Bit dark.
Yeah.
Good film.
Yeah.
Good film.
I don't mind a couple of them, but I can't get too deep, do you know what I mean?
You know what? I sound like a bit of a hypocrite because I'm not really into me gangster podcasts, but I love gangster films. American Gangster.
Oh, what a fucking film!
It's just Denzel, though, isn't it?
That made me think of a podcast because have you seen that scene where his missus buys him that big mink skin coat?
Yeah.
And that's what gets him nicked, doesn't it? Gets him a bit of notoriety and gets nicked, and he's fuming on his missus and he burns it. Fucking hell, in this day and age, you'd be like, babe, contact that podcast, get my story on there. The other way down, wouldn't
YouTube's going to love me. But nah,
that's a brilliant film, man.
That is a good film.
Denzel's just class, isn't he?
Has he done a bad film?
Sure he has, but I reckon he's just one of them people, everyone just says it's great anyway, doesn't he? Denzel film, unbelievable.
Did you see the motivational speach he done?
Yeah.
It gave me a run for my money, I'm telling you, mate.
Is that the one about see you at work? That one? I love that. Yeah.
I remember I think it was Ricky Gervais saying that
Legend.
There's so many when you're actually making a film, there's so many like variables that go into making a film, mate. And the chances that you hit an absolute banger, like some of the films we mentioned, is so near enough zero because it's so like from the script to actually like drawing the film out to actually making it good to actually telling a story, all of that sort of stuff, to actually making it, market it correctly, everything about a film, like that film process to actually get an absolute banger which lasts decades and generations is so rare.
I think when I watch a film, I'll always like, if I like it, I'll always like look at, so sort of Google it and have a look around. So many of them are like, oh yeah, it was received well, but like it took like 250 million to make and made like 180. Do you know what I mean? How big losses?
Mate, what's the I think it's Titanic or Avatar is the highest grossing film. Avatar's up there.
It was Titanic, I think.
It was Titanic, wasn't it?
Remember when Avatar came out though? It was like 2008 or something, 2007. Oh mate, it was like another world. Like
there it is, 2.8 billion. And Avengers was second.
Titanic is an unreal film, by the way.
It is a cracking film.
You can't even deny it, can you?
No.
When we had Eunice on the podcast, she was saying that like the stories that could go along with Titanic, like the amount of affairs and like, you know,
she gave that good example, didn't she, of that good story, when so they'd paid like 50 grand for this carpet to like make the set of like in the, you know, hallways of Titanic and all this sort of stuff. They'd filmed it in Mexico, and then someone during the middle of the night had taken like a 10 foot by 10 foot square out for their fucking living room out of this 50 grand.
It's like somewhere in Mexico, so there's some like Mexican family
just rolled on and going, oh my god, the chances of this. The house is going to look unreal.
Supposed to watching Titanic. Oh, they got the same carpet as we've got in ours.
I told you it was nice. Kate Winslet though, she's in the what was that thing I watched lately? She done another thing called Mayor of Easttown. Did you see that? It was like a one season sort of like thing. She plays like a cop in it. She's unbelievable.
There it is. So Avatar number 1, Avengers 2.7 billion, Titanic 2.2 billion.
Furious 7.
Yeah.
Is that after the guy died?
Is this how much it cost to make?
No, this is how much they took. This is how much they took.
The Lion King 1.6.
Yeah, I don't mind. Lion King should be higher than that.
Is that billion or million?
billion.
Oh wow.
And then Harry Potter, the third, so part
Potter.
2 got 1. To be honest,
Yeah.
I thought Harry Potter would be higher
To
than
be
that.
fair though,
1.3.
when the last Harry Potter came out, 2011, because I was big in the old Harry Potter era.
I was. I didn't get into the films though. I loved the books.
Yeah, I had the books. Do you know, I had the original books as well. And this is a, and I hate this. When my dad was in America, he brought me the Harry Potter book home, and it was called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. They changed it to Philosophers, and then books now go for like 40 grand, and I don't know where mine is.
Oh lad, I'd be fucking in the attic and
I
everything.
ring my mum, because like my mum keeps everything, and she lives away, and I'd ring her all the time. She'd just get in the loft.
You know when you say
Just
she
have a
lives
look.
away, does she live in a big fucking massive house now?
Yeah, just me still struggling back here. Nah, she lives up like in Yorkshire way. And I always say to her, just get in the loft. When I go down next time, I'm getting in. Cause,
Yeah.
'cause
40 grand the pop, $7 bucks.
Because it was like Sorcerer's Stone, not Philosophers. Mate, I've been loaded. I'll see me again.
Do you know what's weird about this list though? None of them I would consider, like, apart from maybe Titanic, I would consider like incredible films.
Well, what I noticed from the top
How is
10.
Aquaman in top?
Aquaman,
Like it's all like towards kids. It's all towards
Kids.
like kids, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's where the money's at, though, isn't it?
Apart from Lord of the Rings, like Lord of the Rings, 1.1
Never seen
billion.
a minute of Lord of the Rings.
Have you not?
Neither
No.
have I.
Do you know why I took it personally against Harry Potter? I thought they were like trying to go at it. Like, fuck you.
Well, we're like the magic side.
Yeah, I
of
was
things.
like, you know, Harry Potter was like the stalwart, and then they came in, tried to like, I was like, so I just took.
Independence Day is a good film.
You know, a couple of classics, right, which are old but brilliant, and I guarantee you haven't seen them. Ronan. God. Again, De Niro. Leon as well.
Yeah, I've watched Leon. Yeah,
Leon.
I've seen Leon. Yeah.
Do you know like an encyclopedia of our films?
Just boss film, like good actors, boss films. I've got good film
You know
stuff.
what? No, I'm a proper like. I'm just
Actually-
a consumer. I love anything that's like bigged up.
Do you know what film I only recently seen, and it was the fucking one of the best films ever? My missus can take thingy for this because she got me onto it. Oh my god, I forgot the name of it. Shutter Island.
Oh yeah, but it's heavy though, isn't
And
it?
I called it. I'm telling you now. Like,
You never.
I swear to God. Ask Emily. I called it. I swear to God.
At the end when he knows.
Yeah, he's mad. Yeah. Well, we just ruined it for everyone. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
I imagine everyone's seen it.
Yeah.
I'd hope they've seen
So,
it.
What a
so that
film
came
that
out
is.
when. So me and Emily had like
Sorry, which bit are you saying you called?
like halfway through. I've gone. He's mad him. Like this is all.
Fuck
set up
off,
in-
I don't believe you.
I swear to God I did.
Nah.
Honestly.
Get Emily, ring Emily now.
Honest, I'll get it in writing. I did. And at the end, oh my God.
How sad is at the end when he knows and he
Yeah.
bags at the end, doesn't
I
he?
think Emily fell out with me for like 2 weeks. So I was so smug about it. I've just gone, yeah, I called it.
I can't believe it. I've only just seen it. That's sad.
Every film DiCaprio's in, he smashes it, doesn't he? Every film.
I didn't like that other one though. That
The one that he actually won the award for. The Revenant.
no, I
Yeah, I
didn't.
thought it was
I didn't
shit.
like
Yeah.
The Revenant.
I didn't like Wolf of Wall Street.
What?
Didn't, honest to God. I thought for about 20 minutes it was Boss.
That's
And
the
then
film.
after
I- that's
That
my.
he should have won an Oscar for
Yeah.
that, not The
Not a
Revenant.
chance.
Yeah.
For about 20 minutes it was Boss, and you're like, this is a great life. And then they could have fitted however long that was into about an hour.
Oh mate, I
could-
watched it before I went on a night out, and I thought I was fucking Jordan Belfort.
So I was going out like this.
I'm getting sparkling.
Vegas.
What a film!
Yeah.
He should. I disagree, mate. He should have won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Out of all the
So,
films, I think he should have won an
I'm
Oscar
seeing
for.
Tom for this, mate. He was
Wolf of Wall
brilliant.
Street.
I was on the hype train, and then just about, I don't know, halfway through I'm just like, come on.
Got so many great lines in, so many great scenes,
It's got so many pointless ones though.
so many that.
The midget darts is quite funny.
Oh,
What's the-
fantastic.
what's the-
Don't look a midget in the eye, whatever you do.
What's the actress in it? Oh my god, she's.
Margot Robbie.
Margaret Robbie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that takes away a good hour, like.
And the bit where he's going, Steve Madden. What's it called? The phase. He calls it a phase where what's
Yeah.
that phase called when he's walking down, like crawling down?
I swear though, mate, I've been stoned sometimes, and I feel like I'm like that. Oh, brilliant.
What a film! Another fucking curveball is Apollo 13 for me.
Not seen it.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
I
mind
agree
it,
with
Tom
that.
Hanks. What's that? Do you know what I did enjoy? The one where he's locked in like in an airport. What's that?
The Terminal.
Yeah, don't mind that one. Just a proper like weird watch, but I did.
Tom Hanks is one of those, like, he's so like, we talked about Step Brothers, Will Ferrell, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
he plays a certain character. He plays that like dozy sort of whereas Tom Hanks can do anything, like everything from the pirate one. Captain Phillips.
And even Sully, didn't he? The guy who landed on the
Sully. He's such a diverse sort of actor. Apollo 13 and
I think on that Step Brothers note you just mentioned then, a great thing if anyone's listening, go on YouTube and type in outtakes of Step Brothers.
The deleted scenes are unbelievable.
It's brilliant, you know.
Unbelievable.
It's just, you can just tell they're just two fellas who just having a laugh. Like, and one of them, he's like, "Did you just fart then?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Well, why?"
Honestly, I could watch Step Brothers, let it finish and just rewind it and just watch it again.
He does one, and just a lot of it's just ad-libbing. Yeah. And it's like the bit where he goes, "Did you ever do it so much that you need to put your dick in a fucking ice bucket?" He's saying all that stuff. Isn't it funny though what the topic of films, you can just send you off like down memory lane, can't it?
When do you reckon Step Brothers came out?
2007, I think. 8?
2008.
The bar there.
It was that era of like Step Brothers and Knocked Up.
Anchorman was right round at that time.
Yeah, Anchorman, yeah. He fucking kills it.
I can't even look at that. See that interview scene there? I can't even look at that.
Yeah, it's so funny. I hope people are listening to this pod now going, you know, tonight I'm fucking watching Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Cracking film.
Oh, these three are fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, just chatting shit.
Mate, you've got some questions, haven't you?
Yeah. My thought films was a good little debate. I like that.
What do you reckon? If you could pick your best ever film, what would it be?
Mate, so it depends what mood you're in, doesn't it?
Your best ever film is the one you've watched the most. Fact.
I don't even know what one I've watched the most.
Step Brothers, 100%.
Well, yeah, I
don't like
Anchorman.
People who start saying like, they start going for a proper like an upmarket movie, like just Step Brothers,
absurd sort of like one that's only seen at Sundance or like one of those like mad film festivals.
Step Brothers. If you ask me one film I'm going to watch for the rest of my life, Step Brothers.
I reckon it's a comedy. I reckon it's 40-Year-Old Virgin for me.
Another classic. Brilliant that.
Boner Jams 2003.
Brilliant film that. American Gangster maybe for me.
Yeah. 3 fucking brilliant films, and I'd watch all of them.
So we mentioned this before. Scariest experience. I've got a couple of these, mate. They're fucking funny. Well, not funny. They're funny now. I'm out of them.
if we can like match up to yours, we'll be all right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We're the outliers here, aren't we?
Yeah, but no, they don't have to be all getting blown up related. It can be, you know,
pretty scary though.
You know what? The getting blown up, it wasn't one of my scariest things. Like, mate, the scariest time, not even happened. Like, nothing even happened. But the scariest time, we were on this patrol in Afghan, and it was pitch black, like 4 a.m, and Ian was leading the way, and he was the point man, I was the second man, and there was like, you know, 50 fellas behind us type thing, a big company snake, and mate, when I say pitch black, I mean you cannot see anything in front of you.
Oh, fuck that.
And it's, you know, it's cold out, you carry all your kit, you're like tripping over, you're slipping in mud, and me being like the second man, I'm trying to make sure I don't fall behind Ian, and I'm making sure the guy behind me doesn't fall behind, so I'm constantly in front behind me and all that. And then the terrain starts getting like, we go up like a bit of a muddy verge.
I'm sweating here.
Mate, honestly, it's going up like a muddy verge, and it's not so bad for Ian because he's not got much kit because he's leading the way. Where I've got a bit more kit, but then some of the guys behind us are carrying quite a lot of kit, and they're trying to get up this muddy verge, and they're slipping and falling over and stuff and all that. And Ian's kind of like going too quick, and I'm going, Ian, mate, you need to slow down. But I can't let him get too far ahead because then I won't know where he's fucking going. So I'm trying to catch up to him, but then I'm turning around going, I mean, you're all right, but then they lose. It's just this big concertina effect, and it's going to at you pretty quickly. And I'm like, Ian, mate, you need to slow down. And he's going, fucking tell him to hurry up. And I'm like, lads, hurry. Anyway, get to a point, and I get up this muddy verge, and Ian's kind of gone. I can't really see him, but I know he's at the top of this verge. I shit you not, right? I get to the top of this muddy verge, and it comes like a crossroads. Like there was like, I swear out of nowhere, there just seemed to be like compound walls, and I was in the middle, and there was like 4 directions to go. Like it was almost like northeast, southwest, and I just seemed to be in the middle. I'd obviously come from one way, and there was like 3 ways to go, and Ian was nowhere to be seen. and I looked behind me, and the guys were nowhere behind me, and I, for like 30 seconds, was just like mist, darkness. I'm going, yeah.
Lad.
I'm looking round, and then I'm going back, and they're not even there, because obviously something must have happened, so they've kind of gone back a little bit, and I'm going, where the fuck? And I'm like, which way do I go? And then come back, and then you're getting a bit disorientated, and then not long after that, they start like prayer comes on. It must be like 5, 6 in the morning, the wake up call, and you're just there, and I'm there in the fucking middle of nowhere, and there's no one there, and I'm maybe
Is there not a radio on you or something like?
Because of all the compounds around us, you ain't getting no signal. It was like dead high wall. Well, again, in hindsight, they probably weren't far away.
Yeah.
But you just couldn't see anyone. Mate,
You didn't want to make a noise.
Well, no, because when we were about to go and fucking kick down some doors and start fucking shooting people. Yeah. So we're in like enemy territory, about to launch this attack on Ian. And then, I mean, thank God, I mean, it was probably only 30 seconds. And then Ian comes back and was like, mate, where are you? And I'm like, oh my God, fucking hell. And then everyone caught up and stuff. Mate, it was only 30 seconds and nothing happened.
Fuck that.
But fuck me, mate.
I thought you were going to go like down into the civilian side, like blend in. Morning!
It was so scary, you know. It was so scary.
I reckon, oh mate, I can't even imagine what that was like.
I mean, it's funny now, but at the time, mate, I was absolutely cacking it. Yeah. And it's one of those, it probably wasn't scary to anyone else, but I just happened for that 30 seconds to be like, fucking hell, where is everyone?
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's the darkness, isn't it? The darkness and the mist.
It was pitch black, and then the music come on of the call for prayer and stuff. And it was horrible, man.
I've lived a sheltered life.
I was going to ask Jord, what's your...
I don't... Do you know what? Like,
it could be like anxiety, but the way you're thinking...
I haven't had many scary moments, but I reckon the scariest was... So, obviously I've been with Emily a long time. I went back to university for after my last Christmas. So I'm sitting in this house on January, and with one of my mates, and we're watching a footy, and I've got 6 months of uni left, and basically Emily rang me and was like, I'm pregnant. so I had 6 months of uni and no job lined up. I'd planned to go on this travelling trip to like Australia, Fiji and all this, and I wouldn't call it scared, but I had one of them moments where you're like, oh my fucking God, you know what I mean? Like,
what do I do now?
What do I do now? And I've never felt like more fucking alone in my whole life, because I just didn't know. So
it's young as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't so much like the age wasn't a problem. It was obviously I've been with Emily a long time and stuff like that. It wasn't, sort of a one night stand or nothing like that, but it was just for about 5 minutes. I was just like, I was the only person in the world who knew. And I was like, what the fuck do I do now? And thankfully it all turned out great, but I'll never forget that feeling.
That is scary, mate. That's scary than mine, mate. Like,
messing at you, we're misty or dark.
No, but that's like life-changing scary.
So I remember like going into the room when I was staying, because I had an house, and my housemates weren't back yet. I was watching it with one of my mates, just watching the footy. And he went, and then I was just in a room, like, so then you've got to register, haven't you? Like, got to tell my mum, my dad, how the fuck are we going to afford anything? We're living in Emily's fucking bedroom in a moment. You know what I mean? Just
it's a heavy, it is scary though, isn't it?
Obviously, like everything worked out great, and I've got a great life now, but I'll never ever want to go back to them 5 minutes straight after I got told that. Like,
it's a heavy phone call, that, mate.
To be honest, when I'd left Liverpool, she'd like felt a bit ill and stuff, but at that age and that, you don't think, like, I've probably got a kid.
How old were you then?
22, 23, nearly. But obviously I went to university late. I weren't emotionally ready for that sort of thing. I grew up pretty quickly, and there was eventually, but it was just that I was one of them people, like, all my mates had these grad jobs and that. Like, they were like, we're going to London, we're starting this finance firm, we're doing this, doing that. I was like, fuck that, I'll just finish and then see what happens. But then but even after that, so on Sophia's due date, I was having me, what's it called, the
graduation, yeah,
and no one couldn't have a phone in there, nothing, and I had to travel up, and like, I'm just sitting in this graduation, all my mates are made up, and I'm like,
I'm about to have a baby.
Mrs. could go and have a kid at any point.
That is mad, that.
Well, it was. I don't know if scared is the right word, but definitely.
Yeah,
definitely
no,
like,
I know what you mean.
Definitely deep-rooted fear.
Mate, I can't imagine how people who are like 16, you know, when people are 16 or even younger have kids.
I say it all the time now. Like, I look sort of my life now is great, but like at the time you don't imagine, you know, 6 years down the line, you can't tell yourself then, oh yeah, you'd be sound. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause you just wouldn't listen.
When Alba was born, these things called ambiotic bands, I think they're called. You know, when you go for the scan, the doctor's done the scan and they see like these bands floating around, and they're like, oh, we need to do you for a second scan. So straight away you start worrying, and then I've done the worst thing you can ever do and Googled it. And a lot of people who like, you know, are born with like physical disfigurements, like amputees or lost fingers or something, it's because these ambiotic bands like basically attach to the baby and like act like a tourniquet and can like cut off the blood supply. I think that's what happens to like Oscar Pistorius and stuff. And I was just thinking, you know, how ironic is it that the guy with one leg who has a baby has a fucking baby with fucking one leg?
Fucking hell.
You know, those scans are scary, aren't they? Like when you have a baby and stuff. And
I remember going for the so obviously I'm young and naive, and we went for I think it's like the second one is like 20 weeks or something like that. And they were like, oh, do you want to know the sex of the baby? And we were like, no. And the one was like, good. He said, this is an abnormality scan, this is where we look for like things. I was like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Like, break it to me a little bit slower. So I'm like that, like 23, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
Oh.
She was like, yeah, good. I was like, fuck no. Oh, you don't deliver the baby.
But it is scary at birth, isn't it? Like, fucking hell.
To be fair, when, so the day my daughter Sophia was born, the went in on this Friday night, and it got to like 12 at night, and the midwife was like, listen, she's not going to go tonight, she's probably going to go in the morning, go home, get a few hours, come back at like 8, say, then you'll have your baby tomorrow. I said, no problem. So made sure everyone was alright, got off, just collapsed on the bed out of pure tiredness. And then my phone was going like 5 in the morning, and it was the midwife saying like the baby's about to come. My phone was on 1%.
Wow.
So if it, like any later I'd have missed it, but I got in and just literally fell asleep. And like as I got to the hospital, like Em was going in the room and I was like walking in. But like literally 10 minutes after that, I'd probably missed it.
Perfect.
Imagine that. Oh, what was the baby? Where's the birth? Like,
forgot to put my phone on charge.
Had a great sleep though.
And at the time you think, and at the time you're like, you're so, but you forget, don't you? Like humanity's gone through it, like literally, like billions of people have been born, but at the time it's like the most fucking scariest time ever.
As you say, it's the most natural thing in the world. Literally, is the reason we exist. But
you feel it's the most unnatural, don't you?
It's just
like. I mean, women, we should give a shout out to women. I could not have something growing in my belly.
No.
What a weird, horrible feeling. I mean, they say it must be a wonderful feeling, but...
I don't have to drink for 9 months.
Yeah. We don't do that.
I say it after having 4 beers.
But yeah, I mean...
What's yours, Tom?
I reckon mine is... I was in Leeds, right, at uni.
The shitting story?
Oh, no, it's a different one. Although, to be fair...
Just don't go back to Leeds.
It was like this. I reckon it was the second ever time I'd done ecstasy, right? And
good start.
What the story start with that?
Only the second time.
And I was in a house party, and I could feel myself like I was like, oh God.
Oh God.
That is the way you tell a story, though. The delivery's just on point, isn't it?
We need to do space cakes on this pod, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I remember, like, I was like, everyone was around me, and I was like, oh God. Oh. my heart's proper going. I'm sweating buckets, and I was like, I started to get proper panicky. I was like, I think I'm having a full-blown attack. So anyway, I called like the non-emergency, like, is it 111?
111.
111.
Yeah.
Oh,
He went, I can't remember the exact words, but it was something like non-emergency. I went, oh God.
It sounds like you're on Coronation Street, Sonny. Oh God.
Oh God. Let me more upper class. Oh God.
And I think I'm having a heart attack. And they went, just calm down. I can't calm down.
Oh,
I can't. They're like, have you taken anything? I said, yes, I have.
Folded like a cheap suit, didn't he there? Fucking hell.
No, I wanted to be honest in case like, I'd taken, do you know what I mean? You gotta be honest.
again, love.
It's like,
Tom. Jesus
and then they're like, right, you need to, right, we're going to send some help. I was like, yeah, send help quickly.
Send help.
White flag.
Where are you at this point? Are you like on a...
No, this is a proper busy house party. I was like just sitting on the couch on my own going...
Have you not gotten to like no mates, nothing? And so,
No. I was too bad, like too fucking...
Party?
Yeah, shaking, everything. I was like, oh God. And then...
Fucking hell, Tom.
And then... anyway, like time passed or whatever. And... I was still on the phone with him. I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm coming round. I think I'm all right." And then I shit myself.
Did you? In the house party?
Yeah.
In the living room?
Yeah, in the living room.
I thought ecstasy was like the drug of like love and stuff.
I thought you were going to say, like, when the ambulance fella got there, you were flying, you were like, come on in.
That's like, gone, lads, it's alright.
What a night.
Really?
No, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They did come as well. They had to. If you say you're having a heart attack, they're not going to go, oh,
I'm alright,
sorry,
but there's a shit that needs cleaning.
Yeah. I feel great, mate.
Yeah.
Wow.
To be honest, that was probably the scariest time in my life.
Yeah. When you trip, I mean, I've never done ecstasy, but imagine when you're on that trip and you feel like you're going to have a heart attack, it would be pretty scary.
I'd like gone way too far.
Yeah, my mind's way too warped for that. Like,
it wasn't the fact of like what I'd take, it's just my mind couldn't, like, once you've lost your mind, then you've...
Yeah.
And you just need people to just just talk you down. Once you've had people to talk you, you're alright.
Yeah. Mate, I like
panic attack, isn't it?
Yeah, it is literally just like a panic attack, yeah.
I like smoking weed now and again, mate. And when I had a space cake in Amsterdam, I ended up fucking having 2 space cakes. Actually, I had one, and then after about an hour, I was like, "This is shit. I will have another one." And then I only later learned that when you ingest it takes like a bit longer, like hour and a half, 2 hours. At one point, I swear I thought my leg was growing back. I was fucking swear to God, right? And I'm walking around Amsterdam, went to the that Banksy museum, and like how white the walls were like tripping me out.
You had a space cake, then went to a museum.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm the point I'm trying to make. Only now would I ever get stoned in my house, because I was walking around the dam, stoned, but I was laughing, crying, laughing 1 minute, and then so paranoid the next. To a point, I jumped on a train to go to the airport, and I was like, because it goes in waves, don't it, when you're stoned? I was like, when I was kind of a bit sober from it, I was like, just get to a safe space, let's get the airport and just ride it out at the airport, and then nothing can happen to me then, do you know what I mean? So I got on the train and went to like the airport, and I got off at the airport, but for some reason like I felt all stoned, because I was stoned, but it was like a wave come on me, and I was like, fuck, this is the wrong airport. There's 2 airports in Amsterdam, fucking get back on the train. Jump back on a train, ends up in Rotterdam, and was like I was like, what the fuck? And I was like that stoned. I was like trying to like get like the Amsterdam's version of the train line up on my phone, and I had one of those moments like,
Steve Manning.
And like I couldn't. Anyway, thank God I'd left like about 4 hours before my flight, and ended up getting back to Amsterdam airport in time. But I wasn't scared. I mean, it was just panicky. But I would never ever now have a joint outside the house. Like, I love having a joint and laughing my head off and like, getting high, and the paranoid you can cope with them because you're with friends or family or whoever you're doing it with, in a house, in a safe environment. Walking around the streets of Amsterdam, mate, going paranoid was not a nice feeling.
It's all about the safe space.
You need a safe space.
You need a safe space just to call it quits.
Talking about fear, like, for like, not so much now, but for a good couple of years, I struggled bad with the like beer fear, like the night after, the morning
bad.
after.
Yeah.
But like, I'd never in my life have I done something like bad, but I would just wake up being like, oh my God, like what happened? And then you start making up mad scenarios in your head that never happened.
Yeah.
It is the worst feeling in the world.
I struggled with that for ages. I'm thinking, I open past it now, but
it's when you see people as well and you're like, I don't know them that well, but I know them. What did we talk about? What did we say?
But everyone else is thinking the same thing, aren't they? So it's like a reciprocated, like, it doesn't...
Alcohol's mad though, innit? We say like obviously you can do that to us all, but we can just go and buy it, like no problem.
That's what I mean. Like I used to be so anti-drugs, and now the only thing I've ever done personally is smoke weed. But like alcohol has got me in so many worse situations than weed has.
Someone said to me though, if I brought you a bottle now, say alcohol didn't exist, and I brought you a bottle and said, yeah, drink this, it doesn't taste that great. You'll have a good time on it, but like you'll wake up in the morning, you'll feel terrible. You'll probably forget what happened. You might make a bit of a show of yourself, but you still have a good night. Like, but it'll be, yeah, I'll drink it. What would you say?
Get the fuck.
Yeah, you say, but we all just happily just go and say, I want a pint. It's like just socially ingrained, isn't it?
Yeah, ingrained's probably the right word. And it's just what you're meant to do in some
Everyone
scenarios.
says though, like,
if you
it's like, you know, you drink at weddings, you drink at funerals, you drink, you know, stag do's.
You drink through the good times, the bad times.
It's just there, isn't it? But
it is a good laugh, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Essentially, when you look,
fucking great.
When you look at it for what it is, it's no different to any other drug that's outlawed, is it?
No, 100%. Mate.
It's everything in moderation, like I say.
But if we were sat around here now and we were just doing lines, you know, I think it would go down pretty much like worse than what it does when we're just sitting here with a few.
I'll tell you what though, mate, we would get some views though, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Oh god, YouTube would be rocketing.
Yeah, still at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
tweaking.
Yeah, scariest moments.
Favourite film.
Yeah, that's one thing I've never touched, thankfully, and
it's so rife in society now. But I'm just saying, like, how different is alcohol to cocaine?
Yeah.
On the bones of it.
Yeah.
Alcohol. I mean, again, I can only speak about alcohol, and it has got me into some pretty bad situations.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Some pretty regretful situations.
Yeah, it's got me into, like, I've done, like, thankfully, I've never done like anything that's got me in like legal trouble like that. But I've said stuff, or like, you know, I've been a bit of an idiot, or like, you know, I've been a bit rude to people or whatever like that. And then you wake up in the morning, you're like, I've had to apologise to mates, or well, I think we all probably have.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck, do you know what I mean?
And then you do it the following weekend.
And then you go right back up. Yeah.
Gambling was my big one when I was pissed, when I was going through like my dark times. I've always liked to gamble, I've always been in control, I've always thought I was a pretty decent gambler. And then once I started having a drink, I'd sometimes wake up the next day, I'd win, you know, thousands, and then in the day, and then I'd get pissed, and you know, you're in your urinal or something and you're having a look and you're betting and stuff, and then I'd wake up the next day, and then, you know, you'd have that moment and you're like, right, where am I, and what's happened last night, and then you look on your phone and you go, oh, but I won all that money in the day, and then you go, and then you look at your betting history and you're like, what the fuck am I doing a bet for at 11 at night of fucking Chinese under 9s, fucking 1.5 goals, fucking, you know, and be like, whoa. And
can you imagine, like, you know, them people who end up in like life-changing situations from stuff they've done under the influence of alcohol? So obviously you see people who, you know, throw a punch and end up in prison for the rest of their life, or, you know, they do. Can you imagine waking up in that cell and being like,
oh my god.
Yeah,
even drink driving or something like that.
You
like,
wake up in your own bed, don't you, and you go, fuck me, like, what's happened? But imagine waking up in a cell and being like, fuck me. And then doing 15
some serious shit, yeah.
Doing 15 years.
Oh, mate. There's so many people as well, don't they? Like, just hit the head wrong on the pavement, like the curb.
Yeah,
like,
you look at people fighting, it's just one punch, innit? Can change.
I'd honestly walk away from anything now, you know.
Yeah,
I genuinely would.
I say that to, like, I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, actually, at my mate's wedding. I mean, I've never really had fights, or so to speak, but I'd always want, like, the last word. Do you know what I mean? When I was a bit younger. So, like,
what, in like a wind-up merchant
way?
Yeah,
but like, yeah, sometimes, or when it goes, like, I'd never let someone say something to me and then, like, not react to it. Do you know what I mean? Whether that was like in a jokey way or whatever, but I think now, I think kids definitely softened you loads. But if someone, like, for example, if we went out tonight and someone called me, you know, whatever they wanted, and then I know for a fact I'd just go sound, no problem now. But, and I'm thankful I'm at that point now, but I think how scary it is to the point where you weren't like that.
Oh yeah, when you're a teen and that your ego and you're full of fucking
you're not saying that to me, yeah. Scary.
I've been that lad, mate, where you're like, whoa, hang on, fuck. Oh mate, now you could call me fucking head and I'd go in a bit, lads, sound,
I was always like, I just never liked the piss getting, like, so if someone took the piss out of me, I'd have to do it back.
Yeah, but you're funny though, you're witty, you could fucking have it back with them.
Yeah, we go too far though, don't it? Just you two lever each other in the park, bringing the tone down.
Oh yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, the beer fair's real.
It's a serious thing.
It is.
That's what we call this episode, the beer fee is real. I'll get some clicks. Everyone's like, bang, bang, bang.
What's the worst thing you've ever done, pissed?
Me, I genuinely don't even...
The one thing I regret is...
That's one of the questions, regrets, that, to say.
Yeah, I've got loads of fucking regrets in my life, but one thing I regret under ale is I had we were at like a party once, and I sort of like separated myself and was like being a bit like obnoxious and that, but to like me good mates, do you know what I mean? And then I woke up in the morning and I sort of didn't remember it, and then like my mates have said to me, and then my missus said to me, like, you were a bit of a prick last night, do you know what I mean? You're just like, I don't even remember what I said, but you know you have said something.
Yeah, especially when there's friends involved. You don't care if there's anyone else.
You're trying to defend yourself, but you don't quite know what you're defending. Like, you know, I don't actually know what I said, but then luckily like one of the mates was just like, fuck, we've all done it, and then that sort of broke the ice, and then but there's nothing worse than feeling like you've disappointed your mates, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, there is nothing worse than
mate,
that.
so many, again, this gambling thing, I'm thinking of me, I regret fucking that, mate. Lost a fucking few quid, pissed, doing a bet I would never have
How much
done.
have you lost? What's the worst?
This one time, it's eye-watering, it's fucking depressing as fuck.
Go on, what's the figure? All the story.
12.
12 grand.
In
One night.
On one bet. Bladdered.
That's my old friend.
Do you know what it was? I was, I'd done really well, and I was flying throughout the day, and then was meeting all the lads and should have stopped, and I'd stopped, but then a few beers come in, I was like, I'm fucking up today anyway. It's a couple of losing bets because I was betting pissed, and then I was like, fuck it, mate. I think Real Madrid were winning 2-1 with half an hour to go, and they were like 1-3 or something, and it was like I'd get it back up to 15 grand or something, or it might have been 1-4 or something. I had 12, so it was that 4, 8, 12. Yeah, it must have been 1-4, and I put 12 grand on them to win. They were already winning 2-1 with half an hour to go, and I thought I'll just get it back to the 15 where I was on before I started betting pissed, and they drew 2-2. Woke up the next day and was like, I was fucking on 15 grand there, and I woke up now pissed, like hungover, sorry, and
that's a big fucking bet, that, isn't it?
That was fucking some hangover, that. Jesus Christ.
Hey, what do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Fucking years ago now.
Gambling's fucking dangerous in that sense. Like, I love gambling and I do it to a fairly decent standard, but like the fact that, if I've got an alcohol addiction, I've got to physically drink alcohol. Do you know what I mean? If I've got a gambling addiction, I can say to anyone, I could say to you now, I'm just going to text so bang, and I've just put 12 grand on a thing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
And again, mate, like you said, mate, I love gambling, and I'm very much in control of it now, and I'm very, but when you're pissed and it's something that you can hide like that, it's fucking dangerous, man. It's fucking really dangerous, and
it's a serious thing, like.
Yeah.
I think obviously when
we had Steve Corker, Steve, I can never say his name, probably Corker.
Yeah, Stephen Corker.
And his was really bad and really sad, and I think in a way gambling, I think, is a little bit like drugs in the sense that I think people want to know about the great wins and like the fucking but no one seems to want to talk about those horrible times, do they?
But I say that all the time, like now when sort of I give out, I don't like to call it tips, but when I tell people what I'm betting on and they follow it, I've said it on our show loads of times, you have to get comfortable with losing. Like, it's not going to go your way every time. You can research and you can do and you can be convinced as much as you want, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But then that's where it comes to like betting within your means. But betting disciplined is the hardest thing ever.
Did you ever watch the Louis Theroux documentary where he went to Vegas with the mattress guy from Canada who just went on his own, just fucking like 5 grand things on the roulette? And
but the thing is, like, there's different strands of gambling, isn't it? Like, for example, this one story always lives with me. I went to get my phone fixed, cracked the screen, and it was in like the height of COVID, so I couldn't stand in the shop, but the only thing close to me was a Betfred, so I was over the road in a Betfred, and I didn't even put a bet on because it was just horse racing, but I thought I'd just stand in here, it's pissing down, I can't stand in there, just pretend I'm watching. So I was watching the horse racing, and this lad was putting in he was just putting money in like 4 machines, the fixed odds terminals, and he's just spinning it and he's bang, just like, he wasn't even watching, just going bang, and then he was like losing, and he's putting more money in and nothing was coming out. He left, come back, put more money in. But I was sort of looking at the people behind the desk being like, fucking at least shut it off or something. Do you know what I mean? Because he had 4 machines. He was just going bang, whatever the roulette, whatever the slots are. And you think like you've literally just feeding that money.
You think if he was in the pub, they'd fucking kick him out, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You know, if he was bladdered and he was, they'd kick him out.
But these people were just sat behind the desk, and you know, guessing it's a way above their pay grade. But I was looking at them as if to say like, switch it off or something. Do you know what I mean? That he must have put 400, 500, 600 quid in.
My granddad was an alcoholic, and my nan used to always say, gambling is worse than being an alcoholic, because she'd look at my granddad and go, look, he can't fucking drink anymore. The fucking gambler can go until he's fucking done, like nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good point there.
I think it's very, very fair. Like obviously, alcohol gets demonised, doesn't it? Like we just said, and gambling gets demonised and stuff like that. But there is a fine line. You know, you can do it for enjoyment, and I love it. But I fully know why I'm doing it and when I'm doing it, up to what point and stuff like that. Yeah, like, you know, I work on a basis of limiting what I can lose, but the fact that there's no regulatory sort of body, or there's no one I could log onto your computer now and deposit whatever I want and spin whatever I want.
Mate, it's like when I'm driving with work and I go to a service station and there's people in service stations,
fruities and stuff.
Yeah, and you think like, what's going on here? Like,
what fascinates me so much with the gambling thing, mate, is like people like when we met Harry Finlay, like he's never worked and he's gambled and he's disciplined and he's got a strategy and he's got his ways, and it's like those stories fascinate me.
Like, the psychology of gambling is fucking incredible, but it's all discipline, and
discipline is the like. Yeah,
and the problem is the reason people don't succeed in gambling is because they will lose and then be like, fuck's sake, and then they start chasing it on fucking South African horse racing. Do you know what I mean? Whereas people who make a success of it will go, will account for bad days. So they go, right, I've lost X amount today, but I know if I stick to this, then I will make that up again.
Long term. People want that quick.
People want the buzz of like 10 grand.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
No.
Would you go to casinos and just no?
So, like, I played in Vegas. I played on a stag do I went on recently, but like, you know, 50 quid. But like, I basically, you know, I do a bit of like horse racing even there, but only boxing and MMA, because like specialising in that. But I wouldn't never play, like, I'd never bet on, for example, even footy. I'd never bet on footy.
Really, yeah?
That's because I just don't know what's going to happen.
That's what I mean, that's so interesting. Like, I know gamblers, like I gamble, you know, Jord likes to gamble. I know other people who gamble, but will gamble in like roulette machines and fruit machines. I've never touched a fruit machine in my life.
No,
I wouldn't even know I wouldn't know the process of
and I think that's when it comes into just the buzz of just fucking lights, just and pure quick money and quick.
You've got to separate luck from strategy, haven't you? At some point.
Yeah.
And like, you can have a strategy, and whether that works or not, that is ultimately down to you. But I think there's a difference between putting on, like, trying to change your life with 4 quid. And like, do you know what I mean?
It's true,
people, some people do, but like, you're fucking few and far between, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, you've we did say before, what was the call thing we were going to do to your dad? Completely off topic. Maybe we should go through the questions first. But
what was
people say about get me dad on. I was going to try. I saw this prank where they ring.
We have to do it here now.
God, that's gonna eat.
And I think he'll fucking kick off on me, you know. When I see him.
What was the end of that question? We've done all that.
Music, grief. We haven't done music or grief, have we? Yeah. We've done regrets. Well, drunken regrets. Favourite films we've done. Best footy game, we leave the sport out. Best five-a-side team, leave that out. Scariest experience, we've done that. Just music and grief we'll go on to. So anyway, this prank is, how long can you keep someone on the phone by not saying anything?
Come on, we've got to call your dad.
I don't reckon he'll last 60 seconds.
No, I don't know that. I bet he says fuck off and just puts it down.
So,
but you've got to mute it. As soon as you call him, you've got to mute it.
So hang on, I can't. I should go, alright, Dad. Yeah, you're alright.
Listen,
yeah, just hang on a minute.
Maybe leave it on a cliffhanger. Like, Dad, listen, I've been meaning to tell you. Bang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah, and then listen, I've been meaning to tell you, and then see what he says. But you're gonna get filled in for this.
Yeah, go, he'll go, you making cunts me on this fucking podcast, right?
Yeah.
That's what he'll say.
Listen, it's content, isn't it?
It's content.
Need the likes.
Right.
Put it to the microphone.
Yeah. Mate, I'll give it a minute.
Mate, hold it. Just
we have a sweepstake for 45 seconds.
He won't go more than a minute.
Over 60. I reckon 55 seconds.
So answer to me. He fucking knows something's coming.
Yeah. 6 cents.
He's not answering.
Welcome to the O2 messaging
Shoulders
service.
off.
Oh,
Gutted.
Here we go then, music.
No, it was. I seen it on. It was on Britain's Got Talent. He might bring me back.
Britain's Got Talent, like...
Yeah, they rang like Simon Cowell and like Amanda Holden. I think it was like Anne Deck, and they were trying to see. I think it's like the more big time you are, the like less time people have got. Simon Cowell, after like 5 seconds, was like, I'm not waiting for this. And then you get some people who are like dead needy, like, you still there?
Yeah.
Do you need anything?
Wait, I'll come meet you now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to try someone else, though. We have to try someone else. I'm trying to think who I could do here.
Mate, the other two things was music and grief. Grief's a bit heavy, innit? Saying that music got a bit heavy with gambling and drugs and
music.
that.
As in favourite...
Well, just music in general. I think, again, it's a little bit like films, and it's down on moods. Like today, I was in the back garden doing all my book signings. I had...
Beyonce.
Like Beyonce, no, Beyonce was the other day when I was cleaning my garden. Beyonce, that Lemonade album, brilliant. Absolutely love that. Today, I had...
Mate, what
it's called? Is it?
I don't know, you tell me. Lemonade, big album.
Yeah, it's called Lemonade, yeah.
One of the best albums I've got on my... I think is Fleetwood Mac Rumors.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh my God, Fleetwood Mac. Wow.
It can't be Fleetwood.
That's what I mean. Like, I could... You know, my problem is...
It's my childhood, Fleetwood Mac.
It's not my childhood, but I fucking...
Wait,
blow my head off now.
I always remember, like, when my ma would do, like, cleaning up, like, say, like, Sunday coming for footy, it'd always be playing. That and Gabrielle.
Gabrielle.
Yeah.
Come true.
Motown was my ma's kind of stuff.
Yeah?
Motown, yeah.
Groove Armada for me as well. I've got Fleetwood Mac, Groove Armada.
Groove Armada.
Groove Armada's well up there for
What
me.
do they do?
Oh, mate, Groove Armada. Absolute fucking tunes.
I'm one of these people where, like, I won't know, but when you say it and
they've
it
got
plays...
like, so you'll remember. I can play this because it might not play it on YouTube because we might get. The Super Styling's a good, all right tune, and then At the River is another. Remember this one?
Oh yeah,
good tune.
that was a tune.
Yeah.
I love me rap music. So today I had on what did I have on today? Yeah, Long Run Rap, I've called it, and like loads of Eminem, like Cinderella Man, bit of J. Cole on there, Tupac, 50 Cent.
You know the problem with me though? I can go from Biggie Smalls to Harry Styles in a fucking flick. I'm a big fan of Harry Styles. I fucking love Harry Styles.
He's done some shagging him, hasn't he?
Oh mate, Jesus Christ.
He was the one who was shagging the presenter, wasn't he? Oh, the one who passed away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why did you look at me like I said something wrong then?
Big old load of tone there.
Fucking hell, she still had a sex life when she was alive. Fucking hell, you made me feel like a cunt then. Fucking hell. God rest her soul.
Sorry about that, yeah.
She did still shag
Yeah,
him.
and he's only about 17. But, yeah. But he...
How was you loaded tone then?
He took that beard off him.
He's banged every
Have you
beard.
seen Ted Lasso? The new thing that's out. There's an actor named in We Are the Millers as well, Jason Sudeikis is his name. So he was with his wife for ages and Harry Styles just took her. He's with her now.
Really,
She's got
yeah?
like 4 kids and stuff, yeah. But,
Fucking pot noodle dad just jumped in there, mate.
In there. I'm a big fan of Harry Styles, but yeah, that's my range of music. I can go from sort of AC/DC.
My problem is, mate, I kill it off. I will... Someone will go, lad, have you heard this? And I'll be like, oh, the boss them.
Batter it.
And I batter it for like a week, a month, whatever.
Just ruin it.
I did that to you.
Yeah.
But I do it everything.
Yeah. Just keep playing it and keep playing it and keep
To the
playing
point
it.
where people around me then don't like it.
Yeah.
Like with me missus and like Jamie Webster.
Yeah.
Mate, boom, he's on like all the time. And I get in the car and I'm like, Webster, can we fucking listen to something else other than Jamie Webster? And I'm like, why do you not like him? And she's like, no, he's good, but I just don't want to listen to him 24/7.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's been 6 weeks now.
And that I do that, me.
Do you know the
Can you find your most recent, most top played?
Oh my god, man, it'll be embarrassing.
What does it say? How would you find your top played?
Is it on Spotify or you got?
I'm
on Spotify, yeah.
Watermelon sugar.
Jump back in. You know what we jump back into? The first one is a bit of Frank Ocean.
Don't mind it.
Like a bit of Frank.
I've got some mad ones.
Chance the Rapper.
Tracy Chapman will probably be my
Jamie
eyes,
Webster. The Black Album, Jay-Z.
Tell you what, I've got a couple of different ranges there, aren't you?
Mate, all music, mate, Fleetwood Mac, all of it.
I've got Gypsy by Fleetwood Mac in there. I've got Circles, Post Malone. As by Stevie Wonder.
Not bad.
Travis Scott.
Stevie Wonder's my favourite.
Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fortunate
Is he, yeah?
Son.
Yeah. Night before my wedding, me and my half listened to the whole Songs in the Key of Life album. Night before my wedding. Loved every second of it.
I've got The Who in there as well, Eminem's Front. Weekend in Paradise, Jamie Webster.
I love Jamie Webster's
Jamie
album.
Webster's a recurring theme, isn't he?
It is.
Mate, that album, it's just so true of life right now, I think.
Yeah.
I can't speak
Oh,
for
he's
people
on to
around the
something like
country, but like,
100%, yeah.
Another absolute, possibly one of my favourite, is Eminem Sing for the Moment.
yeah. Love Eminem. Mate, Eminem's just like...
Do you ever listen to that sort of like rap and hip hop though? And then like, obviously, I grew up in Liverpool, and like you listen to people getting like shot this and shot that, and you're loving it, and you're like, it couldn't be any further from my life. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I guess. But at the same time, you
I
just...
love a bit of Biggie, like, oh, Jesus Christ.
You just... Who shot you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just come into the moment, though, don't you? That's the great thing with music. You just,
Yeah.
for that moment, those 3 or 4 minutes, you are
You are the
live-
star of
you
the
are
show.
from Compton.
Yeah, big star, yeah.
You are from Compton. You are, you are cripped up, and you are doing the, yeah.
Yeah, inspired. Like, you have this, like, thing, don't you? Especially, like, if you've had a coffee in the morning and you listen to it, you have that, like, fucking, like...
I was the whitest sense. Especially if you had an espresso.
There's nothing that makes me feel more Tupac than waking up in the morning with
No, I was talking
You know when you're on the way to the office and you had a coffee?
and right before the
Not
boss.
like listening to Dear Mama by
I love nothing more. Before I see the boss, have a bit of DMX.
DMX, yeah.
Who the Rough Riders on? Just before I go in.
Biggie, can't you see?
Mate, Biggie. Mate, DMX has died, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
I've got this thing recently where I forget people who have died. Like, you go, oh, I remember him, and then you're, he's dead now. I'm like, fucking hell.
Heavy, innit?
DMX, he was only like, he had like about 100 kids, like, but he's only about 50, wasn't
Did
he?
he, yeah?
Oh, yeah,
House?
oh, mate, Google how many kids DMX had.
Was it a lot?
I'm guessing 18 as a estimate.
DMX kids. Get you in trouble.
Yeah, mate.
Children.
Yeah, there we go.
How many, mate? It was fucking a lot.
How many baby
Which
mamas does
rapper-
DMX have?
Which rapper has the most kids?
Mate, he had 15.
15
From 9 different women.
9 different women.
Yeah, God, he went old, is he? 70 to 2?
Oh yeah, my dad's ringing.
Here we go.
Oh, you're alright?
Right.
Yeah. How's it going?
Yeah. Oh, that's just stuff off walls.
Oh, nice one, yeah. Hang on a minute.
1,
Mate, this isn't... He's gonna flip. He's
4,
gonna...
5, 6, 7,
Nah, I can't do this. I'm shit now.
10,
He's
11,
on mute, he can't hear me.
12, I know, 13,
Nah.
14.
DMX have
You
15
gotta you gotta, we're on 20 seconds now. You gotta get to 40.
Mate,
at
he's
least
gonna
40,
flip.
At least 40 seconds.
He's fucking walking my poor dog for me. I can't.
Got
I know I've got him
25. I'm sure we're on 25. 26, 27, 28.
Oh,
he's hung up.
25. Didn't even get to the half a minute.
I told you I wouldn't last a minute. Oh, no, I'm shitting myself now.
Yeah, he's
No, you can just say it. He doesn't know. Does he just say, "Oh, the signal was
Oh,
bad"?
signal, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know. I don't think he listens.
We've got to do a Tesco prank call, haven't we now?
You can do one.
Oh, mate, it's fucking funny that. Are we going to go
I'll do one if one of you two do.
How long do you reckon your half let it stay on?
Mate, I wouldn't even put him on the fucking shit he'd be shouting down. You cheeky cunt.
See, I think the more big time you are, right, the less time you give.
Yeah.
So what was that, 40 seconds or so?
Be fucking
No, it was
surprised
like
my
30
daddy.
seconds.
30
Yeah.
seconds.
The embarrassing thing, my dad would probably answer going, "What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, like, if you're a real, like, oh, come on, mate,
Yeah.
you're on the phone forever.
100%.
Who are you ringing from?
I was going to do a Tesco quick one, but we might leave it for a separate thing.
Okay. Anything else you want to touch upon?
Not really.
Grief's a bit of a heavy one, isn't it?
Grief is
Yeah.
a bit heavy, but I guess it fucking affects everyone different, doesn't it?
Mm.
I don't know how you contextualise grief, though.
I'll be honest with you. Just sorry, mate. Sorry to interrupt. How we've stretched this out to an hour, I have no idea.
Just an hour?
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, but to be fair,
If anyone's listening still, they're the loyal fucking legate.
oh yeah,
Fucking legends.
considering we were sat there like, geez, where are we going to go with this? Don't know, right? I reckon.
I'll be honest, mate. I didn't think I'd share my ecstasy shitting story, but
I'm proud of you there, Tom.
you got to be honest.
I reckon yours was the scariest, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought I was having a fucking full-on heart attack around 25 other people in a house party that was
To be fair, you didn't shit yourself around them, so you fucking...
I know you actually
How
have
did
to
you
get
get
out
over
of
that?
that, to be fair.
I can't really remember too much from it.
Did you get any mad texts the next day, like, fucking hell, Tom?
Shit stains on my couch.
No, I
You
didn't.
ruined
Like,
the
I just
fucking party.
literally just shit myself, and then I think I remember walking back home, or like I remember seeing the ambulance
What,
people.
in the same
like,
kegs? The same pants?
I
How
had
else
to
is he
walk
gonna get
out.
home?
I had to walk home.
What
didn't
didn't
I?
even... Oh my god, that's embarrassing.
Or you would have went and robbed someone's short or something.
Scouse on No, like, I thought someone would have, you know, the ambulance would have dropped you home or something, give you a little gown.
No.
I'd just
No.
leave you, yeah? Good luck, mate.
No, I think you just come. Listen, I feel fine. Like quick fucking the finger thing that they put on you. Like I feel.
Did anyone in the party was like, what's going on?
Don't invite Tom the next one. Let's leave Tom out.
No, mate. It was like 2011, first year uni initiation.
Mad.
There we are.
Do we get any other good questions?
Yeah, so someone said talk about COVID, and I'm not fucking mentioning
No.
that. No.
Are you vaccinated?
Someone asked, which we can kind of touch upon a bit. Dean obviously has been on the show a few times. People are keen to get Dean on, and obviously I like Dean. Think he's a nice guy. We've had him on now 3 times. The interesting thing I think with Dean is people's view to Dean is like they almost want to know the future.
Yeah.
It's like which then poses another question. If you could be told what day you're going to die, would you want to know?
No chance.
That's what I mean. It's like if let's just say for example Dean is right and knows everything, why do you want to know everything? Like,
No, but why do you want to listen to somebody who knows everything? That's what I don't... Like, sort of, as you say, people are like... People don't understand what's happening, so they're looking at somebody else, Dean, whether he's right or wrong, and being like, please tell me.
yeah,
Like, I need you to tell me what's going to happen, rather than like trying to, you know, be patient and make your own assumptions.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like you're constantly looking for a guide out.
yeah.
And I say, like, I agree and strongly disagree with things Dean says. I've never met him myself, but like, you shouldn't be looking at someone else to tell you the way out.
Yeah. No, I agree. Smith versus Fowler, that stuff we can cover on the Sportscast. The Aaron Hernandez NFL player, have you saw that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Brilliant documentary. Isn't
The
it?
podcast is great.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
there's
They did a podcast alongside it. Yeah.
No, they did the podcast before the Netflix thing.
Ah,
It's
right.
brilliant, yeah. I'll send you it. But Tris Dixon, a boxing writer, he just wrote a book about CTE, which is what he was diagnosed with after death
Yeah.
in boxing. And like, it's crazy. See, they're stopping kids like heading footballs at certain ages now and stuff.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, so they're limiting the amount of like heading that can happen in like training situations and stuff, because it's a real thing.
It's really bad.
And it's
yeah.
mad. You can only
from young ages
you
as
can
well.
only diagnose it after death.
Really,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy. So it's only once your brain can be... Will Smith done a great film, Concussion. And I forget... Write that film in Concussion, who the doctor is. And he got absolutely slated by the NFL. They were trying to like deport him out of America.
Because they fucking knew how much money they were going to have to pay out in compo.
I'm sure he was a Nigerian guy. Yeah, so football killed Mike Webster, that's the scene. But if you go on it, it's about an actual doctor.
Dr.
Bennett Amalu, yeah.
Bennett Amalu, yeah. Forensic pathologist.
So he didn't like football. Yeah, well, American football. And then he had to do the post-mortem on Mike Webster, who was like a famous American footballer. And then to get, like the decapitation of the film is, like, to get asleep in his later life, he used to taser himself. Just to get asleep, because he was that, and he lived in his car on some like abandoned field, but like he was held up as this, like, you know, tough, like would like run into anything and all that stuff. And the amount of American footballers that have died from it.
Mate, look at... Sorry, it's completely off topic here, but look at that. They had a 57 million budget and they only did 48 million at box. Obviously, they lost 10 mil on that film.
We were saying that earlier, weren't we? But yeah, it was crazy. I think one of the guys in it who dies, he was a staunch defender of the NFL. And then, like, as he was defending the NFL, he started developing the symptoms and then ultimately committed suicide.
Mad that.
But, like, Aaron Hernandez was, I think he was playing.
He was gay as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he was
He was hiding that.
hiding his sexuality, apparently. And then I think he was playing from when he was, like, was it 8 or something? Like, full contact. And then I think he got into, like, mad fights and he was, like, pulling guns on people.
Yes, mad documentary.
Yeah.
And I think, but CTE is a serious issue.
On the, you mentioned Will Smith as well. We didn't really mention any Will Smith films. Did you see the film he's got coming out? Oh my God.
Oh, with Serena and Venus Williams, yeah.
King
did see
Richard,
that.
it's called,
Yeah.
I think. It's about the dad.
The dad, yeah.
Ooh, that'd be good, wouldn't
Looks,
it? Yeah.
I'll mention how many times we mentioned, like,
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
like, just,
him, yeah.
you know, as a parent, you want to be that kind of forceful, kind of, come on. The trailer looks unbelievable.
When's it out?
October.
What's that film with his kid in? I love the quote in that when he's
Pursuit of
like,
Happiness.
Yeah,
yeah, with the
film.
guy, he says, like, the guy crashes on his boat and he gets put in the sea. And then, like, someone comes to save me, he says, no, I'm okay, God will save me. And then another one comes in, he goes, sorry, no, I'll be okay, God will save me. And then he eventually dies, he gets to the gates and says, God, I thought you'd save me. He said, I sent you 2 boats. But yeah, that's the movie. Was Pursuit of Happiness, was it?
Yeah,
Like,
I
with his kid, yeah.
Yeah, cracking
I
film.
love little stories like that, you know. I
Yeah.
think you can learn so much about that. There's one that Dan Bilzerian, I think we said it about on the Joe Rogan podcast. And it's the story of the Chinese farmer.
Yeah, good.
That's a
and
great
that-
one, isn't
yeah,
it? It's about being
brilliant.
like grateful and stuff, and it's like about you never really know if something's a good or a bad thing until it's run its
Yeah,
course. And he
yeah.
says like, I think like 7 like wild horses come into this guy's farm, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky! You got 7 wild horses just turned up. You're so lucky." And he goes, "Maybe." And then like the next day, no, sorry, first happened. All his horses. Someone leaves the gate open and all his horses fuck off, and they all come, "Oh my God, you're so unlucky." And he's like, "Maybe." Then the next day, 7 wild horses come in. "Oh my God, you're so lucky." And he's like, "Maybe." And the next day, his son is riding one of the wild horses, falls off and breaks his leg. And they're like, "Oh my God, we're so sorry, you're so unlucky." And he's like, "Maybe." And then the next day, the country goes to war, and the like conscription officer comes round and takes all the young kids off to war, but they can't take his kid because he's broke his leg.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." And he's like, "Maybe." And like the point of the story is, it's like,
You never know,
it's
yeah.
your view on
Yeah,
life and
yeah.
how you.
It's
you know.
it's the butterfly effect, though. I genuinely do believe, like, sort of, you get put in certain situations that you think are terrible, but then you eventually look back and go, fucking hell, like,
Made up that happened.
yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
There's certain things in my life where I've been like, oh, no way, that was what I was banking on doing.
Yeah.
And then you
Switch it
you
off
switch
and
off,
then,
and then
yeah.
like 6 years later you think,
When I look at how we started the pod, you're like, "I'm meant to be going on this holiday."
yeah,
Yeah, you didn't go. Maybe at the time you were like, "Fuck, I can't go travelling."
yeah,
You look now, you got 2 amazing kids.
exactly
Yeah.
that, yeah. And you just don't know, do you?
Yeah.
But it's so hard to have that presence of mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
and
you
that
know, it's
foresight to
something
be like, "Yeah, you know what?"
I said to you earlier, like, when you have a bad day or whatever, it's so easy to be like, you know, to look at your bad day and go, you know, fuck this person, I'm changing this, I'm changing that, I'm flipping this and flipping that. But that's just like real-time emotion, isn't it? It's so hard to take yourself out of that situation and be like, oh, hang on a minute, I should probably just take a minute. This could
Definitely.
actually be a good thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
just perspective, innit?
I've enjoyed this, chaps.
Same.
Spot on.
So
Yeah.
final words, Montrex, Legit Podcast, LEGIT.
Also, as well, if you do enjoy the podcast and you listen, it's just me, Tom, Jordan having a chat, please support us on Patreon. It's £1 a week. You don't get no real benefits for it. It's literally just £1 a week, and it goes to support the studio. When we get guests on, we have to pay for them to come in, some of them, and all that kind of stuff. It just supports that. It's £1 a week. I know times are tough for a lot of people
Yeah.
and stuff, but if you enjoy the show, the way there's a lot of work that does go into it, the time we give up each week, the editing, all that kind of jazz, which no one gets to see. I appreciate that. And I know there's tons of podcasts out there and YouTube channels and stuff, but if you enjoy this one, £1 a week is all we ask, and that would be amazing.
Yeah. We should do space cakes next time, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a big old fast forward from
support
Space
on
cake.
Patreon. You might see some space cakes.
Support us on Patreon so you can buy us some space cakes.
That would be good content, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's do it.
I mean, we might not remember a fucking thing we said, but
At least we'd have it on video.
yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I can imagine if we ever did do it? I think with the next day we'd go, I think some of us go, No, I don't think we should do it. I don't think.
I think
we should
me,
put
it'd be
that out.
me because I'd like to think of
Yeah, you've
myself
got
as
like
a bit
a
of
personal brand,
motivational
like-
figure in the community.
Andy, we can't book you this week because
There's something that's going viral of you climbing the walls in your office.
do you like marijuana?
That comes back onto the whole drugs thing, man. I think marijuana should be legal personally, so that's my view on it. Anyway,
Well, like, I think we're going to try and do this more often, aren't we? Maybe one.
yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
We'll pick the next one up at should marijuana be legal?
Right.
Thanks so much, guys.
Nice one.